Hello, Denton. This is Jake Laughlin bringing you another episode of Discover Denton, a show brought to you by the Denton Convention and Visitors Bureau, highlighting events around Denton. This week, Kim Phillips is going to be talking about a very cool award that Denton has won, along with a little petition that has been circling around town. And so for all of the details on both of these very cool deals, make sure you stick around. For all of the details, we have brought you Discover Denton.
Hello, Denton, and welcome to Discover Denton. I'm Kim Phillips coming to you from the Convention and Visitors Bureau with really awesome news. If you haven't heard already, last Wednesday, May 28th, Denton was named a First Lady of Texas treasurer. That's right. We were the 2014 city selected as the First Lady of Texas treasurer. Basically, what this is it's an award program that was set up back in 2009 under the direction of First Lady Anita Perry. And what her goal was to recognize communities that have really gone above and beyond. I mean, really gone the extra mile to preserve and protect their history, their landmarks, their sense of place, and then gone even further than that and developed ways to maintain it while sharing it with others and being an example to other cities. And Denton was selected for 2014. What an honor this is. A huge honor. Not necessarily a surprise to some of us, though, because Denton is just being recognized all over the place for various aspects of what makes us special. But what I really wanted to talk about was, besides the fact that we're set aside and recognized yet again by our state's leadership for being original and independent, I want to talk about the fact that the only way that Denton is put into the limelight, put into awareness of the First Lady, put into the awareness of the Texas Historical Commission, who actually makes the award happen on behalf of the First Lady. How does that happen? I mean, did they just look and explore every single city in Texas and decide, wow, Denton is the greatest? Well, I mean, they could have gone through that process and still arrived at the same conclusion, but what they rely on is for cities to make application and to promote themselves. Okay, let me just explain something. That's a lot of work. I don't know if people realize just how much goes into making sure that Denton stays on the radar of all of these various organizations and contests or awards or grants so that our city benefits from them. But there is a lot of work that goes into this. Now, in the case of the First Lady of Texas Treasurer, Julie Glover, who's our downtown development officer in the city's economic development department, she really took the lead on this, and she deserves some serious accolades. If you know her and you see her out and about, catch her and thank her. Lots of work, many hours over many weeks, over months of collaborating with different individuals, different departments, different organizations within the city of Denton to put our story together in such a way that it would get the attention of the First Lady. And she did it. A lot of us worked on it with her, but she's the one that took everything that was submitted by all the different parties, put it into one passionate voice in all the required paperwork, and submitted it, and we won. So I want to give a really big shout out to Julie and thank her. I'm very proud that she's my friend and also my colleague. She does excellent work, and what a well-deserved honor for Denton. So we celebrated this last Wednesday afternoon at the courthouse. The First Lady wasn't able to be here in person, but the executive director for the Texas Historical Commission in Austin, he was here, and his deputy director was here. His name is Mark Wolf, the executive director, and he did the presentation on behalf of the First Lady of Texas, Anita Perry. And it was just a really wonderful time of recognizing those keepers of history in Denton that some are no longer here, some are still avidly working to preserve what others started a long time ago. And where would we be without them? Well, we wouldn't be original independent Denton, that's for sure. I tout it all the time. We've got the real thing. And the fact that the real thing is so much a part of who we are, that we're living in it, among it, it's part of the fabric of what we look like, where we live, where we play. I mean, just think about the downtown area where now we have light rail coming into downtown and delivering people who then take bicycles or walk or take buses to move around the city. We've got people living in these wonderful lofts and apartments and townhouses, many of which are actually built right into historic structures that have been there for over a century. Obviously, businesses and restaurants and nightlife venues, and the courthouse still being used right there since 1896. I mean, that says a lot, and not a lot of communities have it. It really makes us special. If you want to see the production, there was a video production actually produced by the Texas Historical Commission, and it's about Denton. It's about why our city was selected for this award. Check it out. You can go to youtube.com, and in the search bar there, just put First Lady Texas Treasure 2014, and you can check out the video. It'll also be on Discover Denton's YouTube channel as well. So check it out, see for yourself, feel good about where you come from, because it is an amazing story that's unfolding right here in Denton. And if you're here and you're listening, you're right in the middle of the story. I also want to talk about something else, and it really kind of, the story about our big award last week really feeds into this topic, and it's a topic I don't usually get to talk about fun things like this, but some people may perceive it as controversial, but I'm not looking at this topic as controversial or not controversial. I'm looking at it from a purely business perspective, and that is the petition that is now going around in Denton to get enough signatures to put on the ballot in November that Denton be declared completely wet. In other words, not only beer and wine, but also spirits would be allowed in Denton. Now, yes, this means we would have a liquor store in Denton. But more than that, and this is the perspective that we're coming to it from the Convention and Visitors Bureau, is the fact that when you go to Dan's Silverleaf to listen to a concert, no longer will you have to go through the getting your driver's license swiped and all of this. You just go in. If there's a cover, you pay the cover and go in. But all of this identification thing that has to happen won't have to happen anymore. And basically what all of that is doing is every time you walk into an establishment that is not a restaurant and bar, but is primarily a bar, which is most of our nightlife venues where we love to go and listen to live music and that kind of thing, most of them fall into this category where you have to get your card swiped, and your license is being swiped because every time you go there, you're joining a club. It causes a lot of paperwork on the side of the business owner, plus a pretty hefty price tag that goes with the taxes and the paperwork involved in that process. But from our perspective at the Convention and Visitors Bureau, you would be amazed how many people are visiting in Denton and are unable to enter one of these establishments because they don't hold a Texas driver's license. Other states don't necessarily have driver's licenses that swipe in the same way ours do, or the swipe is in a different location on the card, or they are not from the United States at all and they're holding a passport instead, and a passport simply doesn't work. You can't swipe a passport. All of this said, we've encountered a number of situations through the years where you talk about not looking very customer friendly, not looking very welcoming to visitors. That'll do it. If we tout our music and people come from all over the world to listen to bands, to participate in bands, to attend our festivals, and then they get here and they can't play with others because of this little thing. It's huge. And we're trying to be a part of getting us more modernized where that's no longer an issue. Everywhere around us, Louisville, Frisco, Plano, all of these places have already made this change, and it's time Denton makes the change. So I'm telling you that so you can be aware. You need to sign that. If you're a registered voter in the city of Denton, come see us down at the chamber. We have a copy of the petition here, and you can sign it here and help us get this passed. It'll be better for all of us in the long run, plus keeps all that taxes right here in Denton, and Lord knows we can use them. That's our show for today. Thanks for listening. Hope you'll tune in next time. And in the meantime, go enjoy Denton.
There you have it. That was this week's episode of Discover Denton. A big thanks to Kim Phillips of the CVB. Another big thanks to Gravity Feed for providing the intro and outro music. A huge thanks to Ellie Meyer, our queen of editing. I'm Jake Laughlin, your producer. Join us next week. We will be bringing you more highlights of our original and independent city. And in the meantime, go enjoy Denton.